Hi, this is Susie from the 5 Waiting Wombs. This week's topic is male factor infertility and how you're coping physically and emotionally. So the first half of this video, I'm going to discuss infertility in general and how you are coping and what's helped us cope the last 12 months. First of all, being around people that are having babies, who are pregnant, new babies, if that's something that's difficult, as I know it was difficult for me after my miscarriage and with our in the first few months that we discovered we had infertility issues, don't force yourself to be around those situations. Or if you must be around new babies and people that are pregnant or people discussing pregnancy, it's okay to change the subject. Don't force yourself and put yourself through something that's really difficult. What you're going through is a very personal issue. Maybe friends and family do, or maybe they don't know what you're going through. Maybe they don't always say the right thing, even if it's unintentional. Sometimes friends and family can be very unsupportive. So my first suggestion would be, if something is uncomfortable or difficult, don't force yourself to try and cope. Surround yourself with supportive, loving people. There are just going to be certain people in your life that you won't talk to about your infertility because they just don't understand and they just don't know the right thing to say, and it only ends up making things harder and put such a stress on your relationship and your marriage. Although many people on YouTube have said that infertility can bring you closer, it can also tear a relationship apart. When your main focus is trying to conceive and month after month it doesn't work, and then you find out you have infertility issues, it's very stressful. Sometimes a break from trying to conceive, whether it be a month or 3 months, can be a good thing. It definitely helped us to take a short break, about 3 months, just to clear your head, to refocus, to start fresh. Puncture, massage. For me, the gym is what saved me. There were times I would go to the gym crying. There were times I would be so upset, and I always felt better afterwards. The gym really helps. Just exercise clears your mind. It's so good for your mind and your body. Even just going for a walk, exercise is great. So I would definitely recommend that. It just makes you feel better. Journaling about it, whether going on chat boards. There are lots of pregnancy websites, and they have forums online with people that are going through the same issues as you that you can talk to, and YouTube is also a great outlet, whether you make videos or you just maybe email other people that are going through the same issues. Talking about it helps, especially with people that are going through it. I know in my life I don't have friends and family that struggle with infertility, and it can be a very lonely thing to suffer through. And it can help to talk to other people. Crying, letting it out, scream if you have to. Just get the emotions out to help you deal with it. I would say try not to wallow in it. Let yourself be sad, let yourself be upset. I know the first, few weeks when we first found out about our infertility issues, I was devastated, and I felt all those feelings, and I cried, and I talked about it, and I got it out, and my husband and I talked about it, and I definitely think time heals. So give yourself time, be patient, don't blame each other. Whether it's your issue or his issue, or you both have issues with infertility, and it's no one's fault. These things happen, and they say, I think 1 in 8 women is faced with infertility. For whatever reason, this is the journey we're on, and the journey to motherhood is not a short one, but it's no one's fault. So I would suggest let your partner know that you love and care for them, and they're the one that you're with, and if you're married, they're the one you chose. You still want a family with them regardless of your issues. That reassure your partner that you will stay by their side, that you're going to do whatever is necessary to become parents, and remember why you're together. Spend time with each other. Take the focus away from the infertility for a while, and focus on each other and strengthening the relationship, and then deal with the infertility and figure out what your plan is. Educate yourself. talk to your doctor, see an infertility specialist, research online, find out what your options are and what things you might or might not be able to do to deal with your infertility. Hope. You know, you've got to hold on to the hope. You've got to have faith. That's something you can never give up, is the hope and the faith and the belief that one day you will be parents. However it happens, one day you will be parents. And whether it's through a pregnancy of your own or whether it's through adoption, that somehow, some way, this is what you want, and you're not going to give up, and you will be a parent one day. You have to hold on to that belief. Okay, so the second half of this video I'm going to devote to male factor infertility. And once you've received your diagnosis, where do you go from there? And things you can do to help work with the diagnosis. That somewhere between 30 to 40% of couples that struggle with infertility are male factor infertility. Avoiding hot tubs and saunas, anything that's going to have a lot of heat around the scrotum, like wearing tight underwear, is not a good idea. If you're a heavy bike rider, if you're a cyclist, that might be something to kind of avoid doing too often. If you sit at a desk all day and you're just sitting, you know, it's important to get up and walk around again for the heat factor. Let's see. There can be some causes. Hormonal imbalance could be a cause of male factor infertility. That's something you can have tested. Also, if you have a testicular injury of some kind or a varicocele, like a vein that's on your shaft, preventing a blockage for the sperm to carry the sperm into their tubes. So those are things that could cause male factor infertility. All this being said, 12 months ago when we found out we had male factor infertility, my husband saw a urologist. We also saw an infertility specialist. I wanted to see why this was happening and what we could do. So there's a lot of information online, and I will post the things that I found. But I just want to throw out there that everything online is subjective, and you really want to talk to a doctor to get the best advice for you. Some male factor infertility, they don't really know the cause. Some of the causes I mentioned, my husband was checked out. We did a hormonal blood test. Those weren't his reasons for male infertility. They're not really sure why he has it. It's just one of those things that certain people have infertility and certain people don't. There was a statistic I found online that alcohol, marijuana, and smoking reduce sperm count and motility by 50%. So those are definitely things to look at. After the age of 30, fertility starts to decline for men and for women, was something I read online. I also read that sperm counts are highest in the morning and in the early afternoon hours. So that might be something to try and work with. Also, 3 to 4 days between ejaculation is best when you have a low sperm count. It takes time for the sperm to regenerate and rebuild. It takes 72 to 90 days for sperm to mature and be ready. And sperm's constantly changing. So if you wait between, you'll probably have more when you actually do baby dance. And also, some of these conditions, they clear up on their own. I read online that, you know, every sperm test is going to be different. And you might do one semen analysis and then maybe 4 months later do another one with better results.